and be in the next couple of days here, we'll be crowning 6 regional champions. And we couldn't start with a better game than we've got tonight. The #1 Kennebunk Rams and the #2 York Wildcats.
Two darn good teams, Don. This is the third game between them this season. They've each won one. We are glad to be able to bring this game to the folks at home, especially in southwestern Maine. For those who can't come up here tonight, this is what we're going to see. We're going to try to present this arena to you. We're going to try to present this game to you in a way that brings it really home. And Don, I'm telling you, these kids are ready. The coaches are ready. We've got a good crowd forming tonight, and I'm looking forward for a great basketball game.
Of course, these two teams, York and Kennebunk, they only lost 1 game apiece on the season, and they lost it to each other.
York won early, and Kennebunk won the late game. And Harold Hansen, the coach for Kennebunk, was saying, look, our kids got together after the loss to York, and they said, what do we need to do to finish #1? To finish #1, he said, you got to win the rest of them. That includes beating York. They came back, they did it, they entered the tournament #1. They've stayed there. They've had a tough go to get here. Both clubs have had to be very, very competitive and had to use their benches. But tonight, they get to play each other for the rubber match, and the winner takes on the state championship game.
And if that's not enough for you, to provide you with a deeper insight into the game and some provocative interviews, he'll be roaming the sidelines all tournament long. Let's say good evening to Bob Gardner. Bob?
Thanks, Don. Don, Dave, basketball fans all over Maine. This is going to be a terrific weekend, starting off right here with the B Western Finals with that great rivalry between York and Kennebunk girls. So we're glad you're with us. We're terribly happy that we can be here. It's going to be a big weekend. Plan to make the most of it with all of us. Now back to you, Don and Dave.
Okay, thanks, Bob, and he'll be with us all tournament long, roaming the sidelines, trying to look for those interesting features that are so much a part of a tournament like this.
Well, I'll tell you, tournament basketball, there's nothing like it. Most of the state already knows that, and that's why this week is so special all across Maine. And tonight, with these two teams setting the stage, I mean, we've got a great game coming in here afterwards, as York is going to take on Mountain Valley. But to open up with this one, this is going to be some exciting contest.
It is, because these two teams are so evenly and well matched. And if you look at them, they match up so well on paper. You take a look at the big battle that's going to take place in the pivot tonight. That'll be fought between Allison Booth and Joanna Brown for their respective clubs, Kennebunk and York. And that's going to be really a titan thing.
Well, you look at it, Allison's a sophomore.
That's right.
And she's 6'3", and you're asking her to carry a big load. And she can do it, but Harold Hansen's not worried. He can go to the bench. He had to go to the bench in the semifinal game against Greeley. He knows he's got the kids countering him. Rick Clark is sitting there going, look, I had to go very, very deep. I had to use all my kids. They had to be ready, and every one of those kids has stayed focused. And that's what we're looking for here tonight. We're looking for the kids that come out with a fire in their eyes, because the winner stays. The loser's going to go home.
So I'd call that a toss-up in the pivot right there, except for the experience factor on the side of York with Joanna Brown. Let's take a look quickly at the guard matchup. It's Karen Harvey and Danny Luya for Kennebunk in the backcourt, and also Jessica Martell and Jonna Weaver, who has had a great tournament. They'll be working the backcourt for the York Wildcats, and that's almost a toss-up too.
As you said at the outset, these are two teams that are so evenly matched that it's only right and fitting that it comes down to this. And both coaches were saying, we are not expecting anything different from our opponents tonight. For one, there's not enough time to put it in. For two, we know each other and our personnel too well. It's going to come down to a simple matter of execution. Who can make the foul shots? Who can get the ball up and down the court? Who can avoid those critical turnovers? And that's what we're going to look for tonight. The team that makes the fewer mistakes is likely to come out of here the victor.
And in the front court, let's keep going down the lineup here so we can take a look at that matchup. For Kennebunk, it's going to be Dawn Diffin is going to start. Sharon Mankin has started most of the tournament, but it's going to be Dawn Diffin starting tonight along with Liz Mikaris. And Liz Mikaris really provides the sophomore Allison Booth a lot of help up front.
She's a kid who's come back from a tremendous amount of adversity. She had a knee injury that required surgery, and she's lucky to be out here. It's been a marvel of medical science and perseverance by that young player to come back here after that injury and be able to perform at the level that she has. And we take our hats off to them. And you look on the York side, they have had a day. They went in this morning at 9:15. They had a team breakfast. And after the team breakfast, they attended the funeral, or at least a lot of the seniors and the upperclassmen did, of one of their big supporters, John Dieter, who was in this building 4 years ago as a member of the York boys team. They've been together as a team this whole day, and it's been a tremendous emotional load. I'm looking for these kids to really respond out here tonight and look for each other for the kind of support, the kind of help that you get not only from facing adversity, but recognizing that you've got a common goal. And the common goal out here tonight is to take home the gold ball.
That's right, and for York, they're trying to take it home twice in a row.
That is not as much of a challenge. Rick Clark was saying, look, these kids have been here, they know what it takes, and they have been, if anything, more focused than last year's club, and he said last year's club was the most exciting group he's ever had.
Okay, we're all set now for player introduction, so let's go to public address in our Bob Burns.
The Kennebunk High School, the home team, the light uniforms. Your officials, Reggie Grant and Roger Pullen. The scorer is Lee Campbell. The timer is Bob McGuire. On the score clock is Bucky Sproul. The trainers are Bud Folsom and Harlan Robinson. Introducing first the team members. For York, number 10, Lindsay Plaisted. Number 13, Sharon Orchard. Number 14, Eliza Brown. Number 15, Andrea Johansson. Number 22, Nicole DeFord. Number 23, Tiffany Chapman. Number 24, Samantha Demaray. Number 25, Katie DeAntremount. Number 30, Kathleen Byrne. Number 31, Tracy Yinks. For Kennebunk, number 12, Nora Smith. Number 13, Leanne Mai. Number 14, Kristen Burraby. Number 15, Shannon Manikin. Number 20, Allison West. Number 21, Molly Spalding. Number 22, Aaron Walker. Number 23, Twee Nguyen. Number 25, Kristen Burnham. Your starting lineup: at forward, number 11, 5'9" junior, Molly McDonald. At forward, number 30, 5'10" sophomore, Dawn Diffin. At forward, number 20, 5'10" junior, Andrea Little. At forward, number 31, 6'3" sophomore, Allison Booth. At center, number 32, 6'1" junior, Joanna Brown. At center, number 24, 5'11" senior, Liz Mickeriz. At guard, number 12, 5'6" junior, Jessica Martell. At guard, number 11, 5'3" junior, Danielle Luya. At guard, number 21, 5'6" senior, Joanna Weaver. At guard, number 10, 5'3" junior, Karen Harvey. And the coach for York is Rick Clark, and the coach for Kennebunk, Harold Hansen. It's Joanna. Gee. It's Joanna, not Joanna. I get those two.
Bob Burns, and you can hear him in the background. It's John O'Weaver, and I think Bob knows that he made the mistake, and we're looking at him over
Bob
here
was
now.
practicing. He was over here practicing.
With us. He gave us some great help before the game, so we want to say
Did you see the grimace?
thank you.
Jonna knew. She grimace coming out. More people have trouble with that name.
National anthem, folks.
Another part of the ambiance of this arena, Don. The playing of the national anthem by the high school band of York High School, the Powder Blue. Nice little sweaters. I've ordered you one.
Thank you very much. It'll match my eyes. Powder blue. So we're all set for this one. The York Wildcats will come out first onto the floor. And to run them down for you quickly, York will have in the backcourt Jessica Martell and Jonna Weaver. In the center, Joanna Brown. And the forwards, Molly McDonald and Andrea Little. And Kennebunk with Harvey, Danny Luya, Allison Booth, Liz Mikaris, and Dawn Diffin will start for Kennebunk. Kennebunk coming into the tournament rated number 1, York number 2. Both teams 17-1 on the year. And as we told you earlier, the only game they lost was to each other.
And the only difference, Trape and York played twice. Greeley and Kennebunk played twice. That's how Kennebunk wound up on top.
Here's the tap. It's going to be controlled by Andrea Little, and Little right to the top of the circle. Feeds Joanna Brown. She moves into the lane, lays it up off the rim, no good. Battle on for the rebound. Down with it was Allison Booth, but she lost it out of her hands, and now Martell will set it up. Jessica Martell to Little at the top corner. Round to McDonald. Comes underneath now for Brown. The push shot is no good. Rebound by Brown. Puts it up and in. And York will draw first blood. It is 2-0.
2 offensive rebounds and nice interior passing by York.
Now Karen Harvey on the dribble. Comes into the paint, takes a wild shot, but the rebound picked up and put up by Mikaris, and she's going to be fouled on the play. So this will send Liz Mikaris to the free throw stripe. Number 24. Just underway from the Civic Center in Augusta. Here this evening, this is the Western B final for girls.
Shooting 2, Liz Mikaris.
First one's on the way, and Mikaris has it roll off the front of the rim and in. Nice soft touch.
Obviously, if they can get Brown into foul trouble, that gives Kennebunk a tremendous advantage.
They're putting it up on the wrong side of the scoreboard right now. The score should read 2-2, and they've got it up there at 3-1, but it should be 2-2. Now, quickly, down comes Martell. Martell dumps it off to McDonald, gets it right back on the right side. She will re-trigger the offense. Jonna Weaver on the right. Out on top to Martell. Now it comes to Molly McDonald. And back to Martell. Looking inside, a nice tight zone defense. Now it comes to Little, to Weaver. Weaver into the paint, lost control of the dribble. And it's stolen away, but Andrea Little controls. Little into the paint, a quick 8-footer is good. 4-2, York is leading by 2, 6:43 left to go here in the opening period, and Little on the inbounds pass, trying to steal, may get called for the foul. Let's see. They're going to assess her with something here. They're going to give Andrea Little her first personal foul. That is team foul number 2 on the Wildcats of York. This is Allison Booth, leaving it for Karen Harvey. Harvey, watched by Martell, comes across the timeline, works it up on the left side of the lane, takes the running shot that's good. And that'll tie the basketball game at 4 here in the early going. Martell at the other end, stolen out of her hands by Danny Luya. Luya trying to feed it off to to Harvey. And it's taken down, put back up again by Mikaris. And the rebound fought for. Joanna Brown comes up with it out of a pile and leaves it. Now for Martell. Martell to McDonald. Right side of the lane to Brown. Turnaround shot off the iron, no good. Rebound fought for. Little's got it. She puts it up, partially blocked. McDonald puts it up again. And nobody can get it right now. Little puts it back up, and 4 shots by York, and none of them will fall. Down quickly comes Kennebunk. Here's Harvey to Mikaris. Bang!
Little
Right
case
side
of
of the
nerves
lane.
early, Don. Little case of nerves. It's like the ball is too slick.
6-4. It gets slick out there. There's a lot of sweat on the hands right now. Weaver to Little. Back out on top. It comes to Martell. Jessica looks inside. Wants to get it to Andrea Little. The 15-footer from the right side is no good. A rebound in the lane taken down by York. And Dawn Diffin. Diffin gets it ahead quickly to Luya. Tries to feed the lane. Intended it down inside for Mikaris, but stolen away by the York Wildcats. And York comes right back. Here's Martell. Walks to the top of the key. Picked up on the dribble by Harvey. Martell from behind. Harvey slaps it away, and it's loose in the lane. And on the floor is Mikaris. She comes away with it and gets it ahead to Danny Luya. Luya down court to Harvey. The feed to Mikaras in the lane. Turnaround shot up and in.
Nice spin move and a nice piece of transition work by Kennebunk. Nice bounce pass. That's the kind of thing to finish off the fast break.
And York wants timeout. They trail it all of a sudden. They scored first here, Dave, but now it's 8-4 with the Wildcats trailing and Kennebunk, the #1 seed, on top.
Well, Kennebunk's working that 2-1-2 zone, and they don't want Joanna Brown to get the ball, and they also don't want her to crash the boards. So far, despite the first couple of possessions by York, Kennebunk has done the job defensively on the boards to kick the ball out. And they've been getting the fast breaks on both sides. Joanna Brown spotted Jonna heading down court. She didn't want to finish off the play. She wanted to set up the half-court offense. When she did, they've got to make that work. They want to slow down Kennebunk. They want to take the time. But, somewhere along the line, you got to put the ball in a hole.
And during the break, you just had a good look into the York huddle where they are talking things over with head coach Rick Clark.
Both these teams have seen adversity coming through here in the quarters and the semis. They know they may have to go to the bench, and they are not bashful to do so.
As Jonna Weaver has it drift right through her legs off Little's pass, and the ball will go right back to Kennebunk. Rams get it in. Allison Booth will bring it across the timeline. Booth now, right side of the lane, goes in, gets it back to Harvey. The 10-footer is off the rim, no good. Rebound, Andrea Little of York, and the Wildcats start to run. Here's Little, loose on the lane, puts it up. It's no good. Rebound comes down. Little, her own rebound, can't get it up. Gets her own rebound again, but taken out of her hands by Miseris. And ahead it comes now to Luya. Luya on the drive, no good. Blocked from behind by Joanna Brown. Team's batted around a little bit. Here's Jessica Martell. Mikaras did a good job to steal it, but Kennebunk could not collect on the other end. Andrea Little out on top to Jessica Martell. Martell looking inside. Brown cuts through, comes to the high post, but now it's Jonna Weaver. Weaver from the right side. The shot no good, grabs her own rebound, drives in the lane, puts it up, and a whistle for a foul. And that one is going to go against Dawn Diffin of the Kennebunk Lady Rams.
And it's good to drive against a zone. If you've got somebody who can penetrate, you're going to get the kids confused. Who picks up whom and when? And in that case, if you can go to the line, you can score with the time not running.
You're looking at Jonna Weaver of the York Wildcats on the line. She'll be shooting the two-shot foul.
In the case of nerves, Don, you also can short-arm the ball, which is what she did on her first shot. And she left it off the front of the rim, which gave it a nice rebound. Came out deep, and she was able to follow it up.
She caught nothing but net on the foul shot, though. That'll tighten the score a bit. Here's her second shot. Off the front of the rim. Battle for the rebound inside. Diffin has a chance, but it's picked up off the floor by Mikaras. Ahead to Karen Harvey. Harvey across the timeline. It's 9-4. Now, Harvey, the shot in the lane, no good. Rebound battle for in the corner. Jonna Weaver comes away with it for York. Ahead to Joanna Brown. Brown wants to leave it out on top for somebody. Sends it on the right side to Weaver. Back out on top it comes to Martell, and they'll set the offense there. Shannon Mankin is about to come in for the Lady Rams of Kennebunk. Now, here's Little. Underneath. Drives. Cannot get the shot off. Partially blocked by Booth. McDonald picks it up in the lane. Her shot is no good. Little's got the rebound. She puts it up, and she's going to get fouled in this one. May go against Dawn Diffin again.
She's frustrated, but she knew.
Kennebunk has been able to get that. York has been able to get the rebounds. Good shot of Andrea Little. Is going to the line for the York Wildcats. Now they have the scoreboard correct. They had it at 9-4. Your correct score is 8-5. Kennebunk is leading by, well, now only 2, as Andrea hits the first shot from the line.
That was a nice piece of work a little bit earlier by Allison Booth when she brought the ball up court herself and then went inside out for the offense to Harvey. If Harvey starts making that shot, it really will spread the court for Kennebunk.
Andrea Little hit them both for York, and now it's 8-7. Kennebunk is leading by 1 and down court. Harvey collided with Martell. The ball rolled out of bounds. It will be York basketball, and the Wildcats come down this trip with a chance to take the lead.
She felt that.
You always feel it when the floor comes up that fast.
This thing is not padded, people.
Here's Martell.
Whoa.
Saw it on the replay. Jessica Martell, she's the point guard. You cannot win a tournament like this without a good point guard, and she's a good one. Joanna Brown drives the paint underneath to McDonald. McDonald to Little in the lane. She puts up the shot. It's no good. Rebound. Brown underneath in traffic, looking for somebody. Throws up a wild shot and a whistle for a foul, and they may call Molly McDonald this time over the back.
Yeah, but a good heads-up play by Joanna Brown. You can count in your head, 1, 2, 3, and she knew where she was in the court. She was right in that red area. You got to get out of the paint. You got to do something with the ball. She threw up a prayer. She was crowded in. She had no place to go with the ball. She put it up.
Danny Luya comes out. And into the basketball game is Kristen Barabee. This is Allison Booth, the tall center. Ahead to Harvey. Harvey on the run, right side of the lane. Bounces it underneath for Mikaris. Tied up and stolen away by Joanna Brown of York. The Wildcats playing some good defense right now. They trail the basketball game 8-7. Joanna Weaver. Jonna cannot get got the shot off, but cannot get the basket, and now fouls over the back as she rams into Karen Harvey. And Weaver will pick up the foul.
Believe it or not, it was in the flow. She wanted it. She saw it. She went to get it.
It'll be a non-shooting foul. Neither team in the bonus yet. York 4 personal fouls here in the first quarter. And Kennebunk only 2. Just under 2 minutes left to go in the initial chapter. Kennebunk leading by 1. Full court pressure by York now. Harvey dribbles through it. Comes through the traffic, and they may call her for the walk there. She carried it for a couple of steps, and she is traveling.
Nice full court pressure by York in that play.
We go down to 1:45 left to go here in the first quarter. Kennebunk leading by 1, 8-7. A low-scoring quarter for both clubs. Jonna Weaver with it now on the left side. Trying to loop it into Little in the lane, but couldn't get it there. And Martell has to corral the loose ball. Here's Martell, the 15-footer. Swish!
Good non-call. We got Kennebunk people who wanted an over and back call on that, but they had no clear possession of the ball.
York takes the lead for the second time tonight. They lead it 9-8. Now, down quickly, Booth, the running one-hander from the right side of the lane, no good. And the rebound down to York. And here's McDonald all alone, feeds it back to Jonna Weaver. Did not take the shot. And now Brown gets the rebound and puts it up. It's no good. Weaver will chase it down, and Martell, it looked like McDonald should have taken that shot right there. The extra pass may have cost them the basket. Now looped underneath for Brown. She drives the lane, puts it up around the rim, no good. Rebound Allison Booth of Kennebunk. And the Rams come down with a chance to take the lead. 43 seconds left to go first quarter. Here's Barabee. Barabee, top of the circle. To Harvey. Harvey, left-hand corner, watched by McDonald. It comes to Mankin. Back out on top to Barabee. 30 seconds left to go. And nearly stolen, but Barabee gets it back in the lane, loops it in underneath to Mikaris. She puts it up and in. 10-9. Kennebunk is leading by 1.
She hadn't touched the ball in nearly 3 minutes, Don. But they put it in their hands. They get offense.
Now York will play for the last shot. Only 13 seconds left to go in the quarter. Like to go off with the lead here. It comes to Andrea Little. She drives baseline from the left side, puts it up. She will be fouled. And it looks like Allison Booth may have got her on the arm as she went up for the shot, so Andrea Little goes to the line to shoot 2.
If this is your first chance at seeing Allison Booth play basketball, at 6'3", she's not afraid to put the ball on the floor. She's not afraid to look for the open player. She moves the ball well, and I think that Harold Hansen's done a good job in locating somebody who does not get rattled under the pressure.
Andrea Little, the junior captain, as you saw on your screen, gets the first shot and ties the basketball game at 10.
That's 5 points in the first quarter for Andrea.
Make it 6. And she gives the York Wildcats the 1-point lead. 4.5 seconds left to go. The down court pass is intercepted by Brown. Here's Jonna Weaver, and Little will not get off the desperation shot. So we've come 1/4 of the way in the girls' Western Class B championship. Our score at the end of the first quarter, the York Wildcats 11, the Kennebunk Rams 10. And we'll be back right after this.
The music is unlimited. unmistakable. The lyrics come from the heart.
Just like a woman.
And the message became the voice of a generation.
But at times they are changing.
Now join one of the greatest lineups of performing artists ever assembled for a once-in-a-lifetime all-star tribute to Bob Dylan. The Bob Dylan 30th anniversary celebration in the spotlight.
I've got to see that. A tribute to Bob Dylan?
I had tickets.
You got tickets? You got a friend. Second quarter about to get underway.
Just as we expected, Don. A nice close game.
Yeah. Second quarter about to get underway, and York will come out with the 1-point lead. Here's Harvey. Gets it in play to Allison Booth. Booth, timeline. To Barabee, through her hands and out of bounds, and York will get the basketball right back. Couple of mistakes by Kennebunk here.
Barabee saw pressure coming defensively from the inside, and Allison Booth put a little bit more mustard on that than perhaps she needed.
Jonna Weaver to Martell. Martell, top of the circle. You saw the score at 11-10. York is leading by 1. That's the type of ball game we thought it was going to be. Here's Molly McDonald. Cruises in, does not take the shot. Now does. Bounces it off the front of the rim. And the rebound down to Shannon Mankin of Kennebunk. Back comes Harvey. Harvey cruises left side of the lane. Tries to loop it in underneath to Nicorez, but can't get it. Now Booth does. Lays it up and in. Boy, Allison Booth just stuck with that play until she got it.
Without Joanna Brown in there, they're going to try to take it inside anyway.
Booth's shot gives Kennebunk the 1-point lead now at 12-11. Harvey watching Martell, who tried to get it to Molly McDonald, and it goes out of bounds. Now some changes. Danny Luya comes back in for the Kennebunk Rams, and also in the basketball game, I believe is going to be Allison West. No, check that. That's going to be Dawn Diffin who comes back in. Now quickly it comes down. The quick shot taken from the right side. No good. The rebound down to the York Wildcats. Martell working it ahead now. Kathleen Byrne has come in for the York Wildcats. It comes to Andrea Little from the right side. She puts up the scoop shot that's good. And York leads it by 1, 13-12. Just underway in the second quarter. And a good drive and a good shot by Karen Harvey of York, of Kennebunk rather, gets them right back in it. And now the Lady Rams lead by 1. Here's Little at the other end. Right side of the lane. Leaves it for Martell, and Martell will start it back. Martell to Weaver. Little puts it on the fingertips of Martell. The long shot from 15 feet away is no good. The rebound, Mickeriz. Mickeriz down to Harvey. Harvey cruising in, and now we'll slow it up. Gets it back to Diffin. Diffin nearly lost it in the corner. She's guarded by Martell. Out to Harvey. Cross-court pass. Comes to Luya. She drives in and lays it up and in. Nice move by Danny Luya to avoid the defense and give Kennebunk the 1-point lead.
She was in a nice comfort zone there, Don. She hadn't moved 5 feet from when they started the fast break. She was open on the fast break. She stayed right down low.
Jonna Weaver back to Martell, and York will set. 5:45 left to go in the first half. McDonald's got it now to Weaver. Back out on top to Martell. To Little. Little cruises in the lane. Puts up the 10-footer off the glass. No good. The rebound, Dawn Diffin of Kennebunk. Ahead now to Harvey. Harvey, right side of the lane to Luya. She lays it up. It's no good. And the rebound taken away by Jonna Weaver, and Weaver on the run. The Wildcats come back to the top of the circle. She gives it to Martell on the right side. Martell now to Weaver. She drives right side of the lane. Bounces it off the glass. It is no good. The rebound back down, and York cannot control it. And it rolls out of bounds. Dawn Diffin was in there messing things up for the Wildcats.
Hey, Rick Clark's seen enough. He started the second quarter with Joanna Brown on the bench and a 1-point lead. Now he's trailing by 3, and he knows what Kennebunk's trying to do. So he said, let's see if we can break the rhythm. Brings Joanna Brown right back.
Booth looped it in. Back to Harvey. And Harvey watched closely as she comes across the timeline by Andrea Johansson. And Johansson has given Coach Rick Clark some quality minutes in this tournament. She'll pick up Harvey on the guard assignment. Luya. Diffin. Diffin drives. Left side of the lane. Banks it up and in.
Nice shot. Hand in her face. Didn't bother her at all.
18-13. Kennebunk is leading by 5. 5 minutes left to go in the first half. Johansson has it slapped out of her hands. Now on the floor. Gets it away, however, to Jonna Weaver. Weaver to Little. Little back out on top to Johansson. York trying to set it up here. Knocked out of bounds by Harvey. That'll be Wildcat basketball as we go down to 4:35 left to go before halftime. This is the first of two here tonight. Second game, Kennebunk and Mountain Valley for the boys' Western B title. Now here's Little into the lane. The 10-footer is no good. The rebound down to Dawn Diffin, and she gets it away to Karen Harvey. Harvey now over the timeline, stolen away by the Wildcats. Little's got it now. Here's Little into the lane, trying to loop it underneath. Looking in there for Samantha Demaray. Could not get it to her, and the shot off the rim and taken back by Kennebunk. Harvey into the lane, blocked away by Jonna Weaver. Clean all ball and no foul.
There's only 2 inches difference in height here. Jonna Weaver is 5'6", Harvey's 5'4". So Harvey didn't elevate too high on that, and Weaver was able to get a nice hand in. Great play.
Guy corrected me sitting next to me. The second game is York, not Kennebunk. Kennebunk was eliminated in the B tournament. So it'll be York. They're looking for the double here.
I let it slide.
Thank you very much. He didn't. Now, here's York. The Lady Wildcats as Little moves into the lane and puts it up and in. 18-15. Kennebunk is leading by 3 points. Luya to Harvey out on top. She's watched by Johansson. Harvey now sends it on the left side. Luya into the circle, has it slapped out of her hands by Jonna Weaver, and now stolen by York, and back comes Samantha Demaray. Demaray into the paint. Tried to get it to Johansson, but taken away from her by Danny Luya. Danielle with the quick hands that time. Here's Harvey. Intending it for Luya, but threw it past her, and that'll be York basketball. So with 3 minutes and 9 seconds left to go before halftime, it's 18-15. The Kennebunk Rams over the York Wildcats, who are trying to repeat here.
Both those last possessions by Kennebunk were influenced by Jonna Weaver.
Jonna's got it right now.
Great defense by Weaver.
Gives it up to Little. Now back out on top to Johansson. Under 3 minutes to go before halftime. Here's Weaver to Joanna Brown. Brown now with the basketball. Wants to cruise in. Stopped on the dribble. Shovels it back out to Little. Little from the left post puts it up. It's no good. The rebound comes down to Karen Harvey. And the Lady Rams will bring it back on this trip. The down-court pass to Luya, stolen away by Weaver. And York runs the other way. To Molly McDonald, right side of the lane, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound Little, and she will carry it to the left-hand corner. Now to Joanna Brown. To Little. Back out on top to Jonna Weaver, and now Johansson will set the play. Left-hand corner, the pass comes to Brown. To Little. Little's 15-footer off the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound inside, and Liz Mikariz brings it down. Ahead to Harvey. The good lead pass intended for Luya is kicked and maybe out of bounds. Let's see who they award this to. York will make some changes here. They're getting a lot of people into the basketball game. Coming in for the Wildcats. Going to be Molly McDonald. And also, we'll pick them up for you as soon as they get into the flow of the game.
Jessica Martell's coming back in, Don.
Jessica Martell is back in. Now, here's Martell with the basketball. Martell to Brown, out on top. To McDonald. McDonald, right side of the lane. The pass comes quickly to Lindsay Placed. And Placed throws it up. And gets it, 18-17. So the lead only one now for Kennebunk. Here's Mikariz trying to back in, but the pass slapped out of her hands, and Weaver had it, but Mikariz went by
Jonna
and
Weaver
knocked it out of her hands.
Doesn't have to score a point this quarter. She has denied Kennebunk entrance into the paint. She has just been defensively a phenom out here.
This is where Kennebunk would like to play the game, down low as possible. Now the pass is stolen away beautifully by Luya. Ahead down court it comes for Sharon Orchard, as they're getting a lot of people in here.
Rather inadvertent contact by Martell on that, I thought. It's one of those where they were both going for what in essence was a loose ball, but she made the collision and had to be called.
The important part for York, at least, is that they have one more foul to give. That's it. Then the 1-and-1 situation, but only a minute and 15 left to go before halftime. Now here's Booth. Dumps it off to Luya, and she hits from the right side of the lane.
Odd choice, but a nice one. Booth was there. She could have gone up for the shot, went for the pass instead, and got a better shot out of it.
20-17. Kennebunk is leading by 3. A minute even to go here in the first half. Now placed it. Gets it across court to Weaver. Plays pass with Martell out at the top, and Martell will set. Kennebunk may play for the York, rather, may play for the last shot. No, it comes into Joanna Brown. She puts it up around the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound, and Diffin comes down with it for the Lady Rams. Booth now over the timeline. Right side of the lane for Luya. Back to Booth. It's batted around inside and stolen by Joanna Brown. And Allison Booth is a bit frustrated on the play. I think she thought there were hands all over her. Now here's Martell. Top of the circle, 15 seconds left to go in the first half of the game. York on this trip down, trailing by 3. Little cross-court pass for Weaver, overhead and out of bounds.
They've got 7.8 to get it down the court.
And York will make it difficult as they go to full court pressure here. To Booth, stolen by Joanna Brown. She cruises into the lane, dishes it off to Weaver. She lays it up, no good. Her battle for the rebound. Little had a chance, but taken away by Booth and slung down the floor by Liz Mickeriz. So, we've come one half of the way in the girls' Class B Western Final. And the score at the end of the first half, the Kennebunk Rams 20, the York Wildcats 17. And we'll be right back to the Augusta Civic Center after this.
Funding for Maine Public Television's basketball coverage is provided by McDonald's Restaurants of Maine and Eastern New Hampshire. And by Husson College, offering master's, baccalaureate, and associate degrees in business, health, and professional studies.
Okay, mic's up. We're going to intro Bob. Bob, I'm sorry, little microphone problem. Bob Whitetalk is attorney director for Western Maine for ABC&D, and we were commenting on that beautiful scoreboard that its time had come.
Its time had come. 42 ball games last year. The automatic line didn't go off maybe twice. So started in April, got a couple of sponsors and a couple of friends in town, the city fathers and the management of the Civic Center here. We all got together, and 3 weeks ago they came in the crates. We put them together and put them up.
Marvelous, and it's working. With the kind of basketball we're seeing, we got to have a scoreboard that's blowing the horns at the right time.
Every time that 10th of a second shows up, I grin.
You sure do. Bob, this is your 20th year as attorney director for Western Maine.
Yeah, when they moved the BCD tournament from Edward Little High School, when Dick Michelson ran it over there, to this building, they asked if I'd give it a shot. I've been doing it ever since.
And you've done a terrific job in the same tradition that Dick Michelson. We hear so many positive comments, and I know for Maine Public Broadcasting, we sure have appreciated the cooperation you've given us here, and we're excited about doing this whole weekend.
Well, our main function first is to take care of the kids and the coaches. Then we take care of the media who get the word out to the fans, and we have a real good time in here. I've been here all this time, and most of the people working in the building for me have been here the same length of time with me.
Basketball's been a huge part of your life. Lest anybody think this is the only role you've had in basketball, you've done a few other things, some whistle tooting maybe.
All I have 30 years as an official, but as a college student, I ran the clock and sold programs in the tournament. I've officiated in all classes in state level competition. I've done the New Englands, and it was kind of a natural thing. I guess I had a kind of feel on how things ought to go, and that's why they asked me to give it a shot. It's gone well ever since.
It sure has. We hope that you're going to be around for a good long time to come. But when that day comes when you aren't, what will you remember about the game most of all, do you think?
I'll remember the BCD crowd in this building. If I could run the building alone, I honestly believe that, because I could get on the mic and I could ask these people to do something and they'd do it.
Right.
And it's not the same in every place you go, but in this particular site, these fans are great. Great basketball and great fans.
And it was fun. Not only do you fulfill your official role so well, but the human side is good. I happened to be here yesterday between games when everybody was cleaning out, when Bob looked up at the stands and had the mic on and wished a friend a happy 50th birthday. That was neat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a family affair.
It was just great. And Bob, again, want to congratulate you for the terrific job that you've done. And you've got so many friends through basketball over the years that I hope you find it very satisfying.
Well, I'm glad that Channel 10 and the Lewison outfit picked it up, because Ed Fowler's group out of Bangor has always been great. But it's nice to have the local people here doing it with us. I'm looking forward to a long association.
Thanks very much,
Thank
Bob.
you.
It's really exciting. Now we're going to get back for more information at halftime from Don and Dave.
Thank you, Bob, for that probing interview with Bob Wytock, the tournament director here. You know, you talk about Bob Wytock, and I thought for a while there he felt he was snake bit this time because they have had such terrible weather for the tournament. But actually, in terms of how the attendance has gone, I don't think he's that far behind.
No, I don't think he's that far behind. And the odd thing is, tonight you got one town supplying 2 games, you know, which you think might cut into your gate. But Rumford is going to be down here, Rumford, Mexico, for the second game. They're filing in now. And this place, the temperature goes up about 10 degrees between the time you start and the time you finish, and over the course of the night. Oh, yeah, here's a nice slow motion shot. Joanna Brown trying to get inside. And you see, she's counting in her head. 3, 2, 1. I better get out of here, do something with the ball. She just threw it up wildly. But it wasn't as wild as you might imagine, because she had no place else to go with it. She was running out of time in the paint.
Here's McDonald on the rebound, getting really racked from behind. So
Yeah.
it's been kind of a rough game, as you might expect as we check up on the scoreboard. 20-17, the Kennebunk Lady Rams leading at halftime.
I always thought about that. Lady Rams. Isn't that a U?
I don't
Let's
know.
go U's.
No, I know. We've talked before about whether we use the term Lady Rams or Lady Wildcats, and I thought we'd use it tonight because they actually put it right on their jerseys. I guess we've got some stats for you going up on the screen right now. Want to take that, Dave?
Well, what we're looking at is the field goal percentage is the key part here, because York came out early, established that 11-10 lead, and was playing pretty good basketball. What kept them in the game is the offensive rebounds. They had 8 offensive rebounds in that first half to only 2 for Kennebunk. And York was pounding the boards as long as Joanna Brown was there. When she left, that opened up the middle for Kennebunk to come back in. That's where they gained the lead to start that second quarter. With Joanna Brown on the bench, they come in with Allison Booth. She had a couple of nice plays in there, not only an assist, but a darn nice shot, too, where she banked one in down low to get them up into the lead, and a lead that they sustained over the balance of the quarter, because York would come down and was not able to get the ball into Joanna Brown where she could do something with it. Their interior passing was leaving a little bit to be desired, in part because the defense by Kennebunk, they've stayed in that 2-1-2 zone and have frustrated York's attempts to get the ball in, and the outside shooting has not really kicked in yet for York. But again, the turnover part of that, when we saw it at the bottom of that, the turnover percentage for both clubs, key to that is Jonna Weaver. She has been outstanding on defense for York. That's why we've only got a 3-point difference here. Her defense in that first half, and especially in the second quarter, was outstanding, and she's kept her club in without having to score a point.
Here's your field general, Jessica Martell of the York Wildcats. It's 20-17, Kennebunk over York right now at halftime. We'll be right back after this.
It's an evening with Peter, Paul, and Mary, beginning with...
I'm Patsy Wiggins. Next time on Personally Speaking, a wonderfully fun conversation with Noel Paul Stuckey.
Frankly,
Yes.
not too many people know this, I didn't really think folk music was all that much when I got to Greenwich Village. I came in as a old rhythm and blues singer and a comedian mostly.
Please join us next time on Personally Speaking.
And then it's a brand new Peter, Paul, and Mary concert.
You can make it happen for your whole family by joining America's most popular folk group, Peter, Paul, and Mary. their musical messages are universal and appeal to the very young and the young at heart. Don't miss this special program for the whole family. Peter, Paul, and Mommy, too.
You people watching tonight in York, I want to apologize for the mistake that we made in the first period. It
What's
will
this
be
we business, Don?
Okay, well, I will take it mea culpa, okay? It's going to be York and Mountain Valley in the second game on Maine Public Television tonight, and that shapes up to be a good one, too.
What an outstanding contest that's going to be. As York comes in here, they're deep, they're talented, and Mountain Valley's looking for one of the premium upsets of the Western Maine tournament, and they've got a kid. If he comes in here and continues to shoot as he has, Andy Bedard, he could make an outstanding game.
Of course, this is our maiden voyage. First time it's ever been done on Maine Public Television, the Western Maine Tournament. We'd like to hear from you and the public broadcasting audience. If you have some comments about basketball, what you're watching here now, or what you're hearing here now, and if you'd like to see more or anything else, if you're enjoying basketball, let us know. Write to us at that address. Write to Basketball, Maine Public Television, 1450 Lisbon Street, Lewiston, Maine. Once again, Basketball, Maine Public Television, 1450 Lisbon Street in Lewiston, Maine, 040240 on the zip.
Nicely done, partner.
Thank you very much, partner.
We're coming down in the final few seconds. If I'm Rick Clark, I'm sitting there telling my kids, hey, you know, we're 3 points down. We haven't played our game of basketball. We haven't done what we wanted to do. And when Andrea Little and Joanna Brown and Jessica Martell start kicking it in here in the second half, we may see the battle that we're expecting go all the way down to that final moment.
We thought it would be closer tonight, and so far the game is not disappointed. York will get the ball first. They trail it by 3 as we begin the second half. Now, Martell outside the three-point line on the left side, drifts it in the corner to Andrea Little. Little looping it underneath, intended for Joanna Brown, but over her head, and the Lady Rams steal it. This is Karen Harvey at the other end. Harvey to Dawn Diffin, moves around the defense, puts up the shot and in. Karen Harvey makes it 22-17, and the Kennebunk lead is now 5 points. Just underway here in the third quarter. Martell, top of the circle, to Little in the corner, fronted by Allison Booth. To Jonna Weaver. Now to Molly McDonald. McDonald takes the shot from the right side. It's no good. Rebound put up. That's no good by Jonna Weaver. And stolen now by Joanna Brown. Into the paint. Puts it up and in. Joanna Brown stuck with the play. Long down court pass to Mickeriz. Mickeriz lays it off for Harvey. She misses the shot. Mickeriz, the putback is good.
Key for Kennebunk. If I'm Harold Hanson, get Mickeriz the ball.
23-19. Kennebunk is leading by 4 points. 24-19 by 5 points. Now from the right side, Little puts up the 10-footer. That's good. And the Wildcats trying to come back. Here's Diffin. She's going to be walking at center court. They call her on the travel. She kind of cradled it in her arm and took the extra step.
Pass came to her too quickly. She wasn't ready. She had no place to go with it. And in fact, was facing the wrong direction.
And we got a whistle and a stoppage of play here. And I think something wrong with the clock. This is a brand new clock. They've worked it out and some of the bugs out over the week, but the first night that they were dealing with the clock was a horrendous horror show. They just couldn't get anything to work.
Well, it's all those newfangled electronics, Don. But Bob Gardner was talking with Bob Whitetalk about that at the half. And
York with the basketball. It comes down to Jonna Weaver. Back out on top to Martell. Wildcats now trying to get it back into this one. They are very close, but have not broken through Kennebunk yet. It comes to McDonald, left side of the lane. Her shot is blocked by Booth. Stone down. The down-court pass intercepted by Andrea Little. Little to Martell. Gets it right back. Takes the 15-footer from the left side. That's no good. The rebound ripped down by Liz Mickeriz. Ahead to Harvey. Harvey tried to dish it off to Danny Luya. Pass was stolen momentarily. Harvey gets it back to Mickeriz. She lays it up and out. Rebound battle for underneath. Martell comes away with it. Ahead to Little, and Little dribbles out of traffic.
Boy,
Little down to Joanna Brown from the right side. Blocked by Booth out of bounds. It belongs to York, but Allison Booth went right up with the junior.
Tremendous hustle defense at both ends of the court. Andrea Little doing everything she can, making a steal, making a rebound, pushing the ball up court.
24-21. Kennebunk by 3. in the Western B girls title game. Jonna Weaver. Molly McDonald to Weaver in the paint. Puts up the running one-hander that's no good. And the rebound battle for. They took it out of Allison Booth's hands, and they're going to call Weaver on the foul.
She drew a crowd. Allison Booth, 6'3", only a sophomore. Great court presence.
A triple team on that particular play.
There's a nice shot.
Here's York going to full court pressure now. Lady Rams of Kennebunk beat it on the dribble by Allison Booth. Luya with the basketball to Harvey. Left side of the lane, Mikara's turnaround jump shot is good.
Every time she gets the ball, Harold Hansen relaxes.
She's the glue on this Lady Ram team. And she gives Kennebunk a 5-point lead with 5 minutes even left to go third quarter. Andrea Little looping it underneath for Brown, stolen away by Harvey, and Harvey tripped up by Brown, and she's smiling about it. She goes, ooh, she says.
She got a little bit of benefit there. Joanna Brown actually made 2 fouls. One was the push-off to get herself clear to go after the ball, and then the second was the takedown. They only called the second one, so she cut a little bit of a break there.
The non-shooting foul, and Harvey will trigger it in.
That's 2 fouls on Joanna Brown.
Karen Harvey, the 5'4" junior for the Kennebunk Lady Rams. Now Harvey bothered by Andrea Johansson and throws it away. Out of bounds.
Diffin couldn't get the handle on that, and they clapped hands on the way by. Harvey was upset again. The pass was too firm.
Here's Little. Right side. Swish. 26-23. Kennebunk is leading by 3. Harvey, bothered by Johansson, takes it all the way in underneath, lays it up, no good. Rebound Brown. And now Weaver's got it. Weaver and the Wildcats running at the other end. Left for Johansson to Little. Little over Booth. The shot off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound fought for. Booth gets it and steps out of bounds. It'll be York basketball.
She got jostled a little bit. You can see her face. A little frustration there by Allison Booth.
Leanne Mai comes into the basketball game for Kennebunk. Little will trigger it in. Gets it in now to Weaver. To Brown. Right side of the lane. Drives. Lays it up and in. 26-25. And York is back in it.
Brown's been quiet tonight offensively. She starts taking over in there. It could be a fun time had by all.
Luya from the left side scores. 28-25. Kennebunk by 3. 3:46 left to go. Here in the third quarter of the Western B Championship game. Brown, right side of the lane, drives and travels.
Good call.
A good call by the official that time. Took that extra little step, and you've seen it so often.
She dragged it. She didn't intend to, but all of a sudden, she had no place to go.
And that's a mark of good defense by the Kennebunk Rams. Now, back come the Lady Rams. Luya feeds it quickly to Diffin. Her push shot from the right side, no good. The rebound, Mai, she puts it up, it's no good. And the rebound, a Little of York. And Andrea comes a dribbling and a running. Down the right side of the lane, loose in the lane, lays it up and in. Andrea Little carries the mail end to end. 28-27. York's lead is now, or check that, Kennebunk's lead is cut to 1. Here's Booth. Diffin underneath, gets whacked. And it'll go against Joanna Brown.
Andrea Little came down so quickly on that play, Don, that Allison Booth had no idea. Here's the play to Diffin.
This is Diffin getting hit underneath, yeah.
Hello, Joanna. Crunch.
Well, I suppose when Joanna hits you, you know it.
That's the 3rd foul on her. And again, if they want to take it inside on Joanna Brown, who's breathing hard right now, she has really made a full court effort. And we may be seeing Jessica Martell coming back in here now, but seeing some of the load shift. Rick Clark's not really sure he can bring Joanna out, but she's got the 3 fouls. We've got 3:03 to go in the 3rd. She's looking to the bench. She wants some instructions.
York making changes here. McDonald out and Johansson out. Martell comes in. And also in the Samantha Demaray. So Diffin makes the foul shots. It's 30-27.
Nice high arc on that. You can tell she's been doing some practicing.
Kathleen Byrne has come in for York. So a lot of changes for the Wildcats now. Pick them up for you as we start to play here. Here's Martell. She stays in. So does Jonna Weaver. So Martell out on top. Martell to Little in the corner. Nearly lost control, but regains it. Working on the left side with Weaver, who's got the basketball right now. Now to Martell. Left-hand corner, it comes to Kathleen Byrne. Martell, Little, into the circle, 10-footer, off the front of the rim, no good, rebound. Comes down to Allison Booth, ripped out of her hands, Little puts it up and in.
Again, unsung, Jonna Weaver right there defensively.
Here's Mickeras down at the other end all alone, and she lays it up and in. 32-29. 3-point lead for Kennebunk. Just over 2 minutes left to go, third quarter. Little had a notion. Gets it off instead to DeMarais. DeMarais has the shot blocked and knocked out of bounds. And the basketball will belong to, let's see, York or Kennebunk.
Kennebunk's going to get it. Andrea Little and Liz Mickeras are really going at it here. They've been the offensive forces for both their clubs.
You're watching basketball on WCBB. Channel 10 in Lewiston. Down court it comes. Stolen away by York. Little loose on the lane, the other side, lays it up and in. 32-31. With under 2 minutes to go, stolen by Little. She lays it up again. It's no good. Puts up the rebound. There will be no shot. Has a foul to be called.
Unofficially, I've got 20 points on the night for Andrea Little. She has played inspired basketball.
Junior captain on this team. And I don't think this is going to be a shooting foul, no. So 1 minute and 47 left to go. Here's Little now on the replay. Putting it up. And there's the crunch in the middle. Little will put this up again, but
no, Martell goes down.
Shot.
She ran out of room coming back to the floor.
Martell, Little inside, lays it up and in.
There you go.
The York Wildcats are in front, 33-32. Now Kennebunk will try to come back. Liz Mickeras with it. Up the right side, guarded by Kathleen Byrne. Cross court it comes. To Mai. Stolen by Little. Knocked back inside. Mai gains control to Mickeras underneath. She lays it up around the rim and in. And she got fouled.
What a pass by Mai. And Mickeras, again, she has got to have the ball in her hands offensively for Kennebunk.
Kennebunk regains the lead at 34-33. So this one coming down, and there's Liz Mickeras at the line. Set to shoot and try to collect the three-point play. Tips, shoots, off the far back of the rim. I thought she was going to get it. Kennebunk is leading by 1 point, 34-33. It'll be York basketball, and to trigger it in will be Andrea Little. Into Martell. Martell now. Top of the circle, loses control, but corralled by Little in the corner, and she gets it back out on top to Martell. Martell to Little. Little took a look, had a notion. Ball slapped away from her, and now the whistle for a foul. They'll call it on Leon Mai.
There's about a 3 feet difference here, Don. Jessica Martell, on previous possessions, has come down, and she's set out outside the three-point line, and the defense has been allowed to sag off her. She comes up that extra 3 feet. They can't sag off her. She gets more room to maneuver. She gets to dish the ball off, find somebody open. And at that point, you keep the defense on it.
York now trails by 1. Kennebunk ahead by 1. You could have figured that out by yourself.
I
did. Inbounds pass is stolen nicely by Allison Booth. Down court it comes to Mickeras. Right side of the lane to Luya. She puts it up, and it's good. Danny Luya. With under a minute to go, the lead for the Kennebunk Lady Rams is 3 points. Down court to Brown. Brown. Right side of the lane to DeMarais. To Brown. Up, out. And the rebound controlled by York. Put up by Jonna Weaver. Her shot is no good. Rebound by Brown. 40 seconds left to go to Weaver in the lane to DeMarais. She puts it up. It's no good. Now Weaver up again, and she's fouled. York is getting the majority of the shots. I think you saw it on the graphic at halftime. They had something like 14 more shots, and that's what's keeping them in the basketball game.
Well, it's keeping them in the basketball game because Joanna Brown is pounding the boards as their shooting down low hasn't been the best. But the key part there is Joanna Brown's not giving up on the rebounds. she picks the ball back up, and they're moving the ball internally pretty well. Nothing, just put it in the net.
At the line shooting two, Joanna.
Samantha DeMarais will sit down for a while. And Molly McDonald will come back into the basketball game. Molly has not played as much as she's played in the other games of the tournament. Brown misses the first one from the line. 36 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Joanna Brown of York can cut the Kennebunk lead to 2. And does. 36-34. Just over a half a minute to go in the third quarter. Karen Harvey at the left side of the lane. Trying to get to Micarez. The turnaround jump shot no good. And the rebound down to Jonna Weaver. And now to Martell. And Jessica will stop it at the top of the key and play for the last shot here. 15 seconds on the clock. Let's see where they cut. Weaver to Little. Left-hand corner. Checks the clock. She sees 7 seconds up there. To McDonald. To Martell. 15-footer from the right side. Around the rim. No good. Battle for the rebound. Micarez comes away with it, and that's it. Time expires here in the third quarter. And at the end of 3, our score. The Kennebunk Lady Rams 36. The York Wildcats 34. And we'll be right back to the Augusta Civic Center after this.
He had all of America tapping their feet to his music.
You could not compare Sousa with any one person. Sousa did it as no one had done it before, and really as no one will ever do it since.
Our nation's first music superstar. Watch If You Knew Sousa on The American Experience.
Civic Center, York Wildcats, Kennebunk Rams, Class B Western Maine Finals, and right now Kennebunk with the upper hand, but not by a heck of a lot, only 2 points.
We've got 8 minutes, and we've got 2 points separating these very good ball clubs.
They looked like this on paper, that it would be this close, and sometimes it doesn't always work out that way, but that's the way it's going to work out here tonight. This baby's going right down to the wire. Al Harvey inbounds to Booth. Booth with the basketball. Allison comes on the right side to Dawn Diffin. Diffin shot off the rim, no good. Rebound, Joanna Brown of York. To Little. Little, top of the circle, right side for Jonna Weaver. Controls. Little, 15-foot push, rattles it in, around the rim and in. Halfway down the cylinder, halfway out, and then drained it. 36-36, tie basketball game. 7.5 minutes left to go. And we'll keep a close eye on the clock for you now. Harvey drives and gets hammered again by Joanna Brown, and that's going to be a bunch of fouls.
4.
That's 4 fouls on Joanna. And so she is the only person right now who's in foul trouble in the basketball game, and Harvey will go to the line to shoot 2.
And Joanna Brown's going to come out on Rick Clark over there.
Got nobody up off the bench yet.
Well, it's early. He's got the foul shot. She's got to report in. But with that fourth foul, Joanna Brown, I think it's a little dicey to keep her in.
He's talking with Kathleen Byrne, as you just saw in the picture.
They're going to have to,
Harvey makes one, misses one. Rebound control by Kennebunk. Micarez got it. Got it to the right side of the lane. Turnaround hook shot is no good. Battle for the rebound. Knocked away Jonna Weaver comes up with it. And Weaver will come on the dribble.
How smart was Liz Micarez? She knew she had Joanna Brown on her. She knew she could back her in and take that baby hook. She'd drawn foul number 5. Rick was going to say, whoa.
You play it with your body, you play it with your brain, too. Molly McDonald, top of the circle. Martell to Joanna Brown underneath. She lays it up on the drive. No good. The rebound down to Kennebunk. The Lady Rams stolen by Weaver. She kicks it out of bounds. Still Ram basketball.
Again, disrupting the play offensively. You know, Kennebunk wants to turn, bring the ball up in a hurry. Jonna Weaver right there.
Good crowd on hand for this one. A bigger one expected tonight. As York meets Mountain Valley in the boys B game. 6:46, all that remains, regulation time of this one. Shot of Karen Harvey to put the ball in play. Karen gets it in now. To Danny Luya. Luya breaks the timeline to Harvey. Gets it right back. right through the hands of Mikariz and stolen by Molly McDonald. And here come the Wildcats running at the other end. Flip to Weaver. Weaver, right side of the lane, puts the shot up, and it's blocked, and she is fouled. Somebody got a piece of her in there. It's either going to be Karen Harvey or Liz Mikariz.
24, Liz Mikariz.
That's 2 on her. And here's something important. York has committed 6 personal fouls, which means they'll be in the 1-and-1 on the next one. Here's the shot by Weaver. Now she's at the line to shoot the 1-and-1, or to shoot 2 shots. First one is good.
She ties it.
And we're all knotted again. At 37.
They don't count on her to score, but boy, does she disrupt the other team.
Jonna Weaver is a senior, as you see. Here's the shot on the way, and she gives York the lead. 38-37. Harvey watched by Little. Little steals. Loose on the lane, lays it up around the rim and in. Andrea Little. 40-37. York by 3. Allison Booth guarded by Little now. Still not across the timeline. Now breaks it to Harvey. Looped underneath. Mikariz lays it up. No good. Grabs her own rebound. Puts it up and in. And she got fouled.
There was a great play by Molly McDonald on the first block there. But I think she got her on the second try.
So Liz Mikariz goes to the line with a chance at the three-point play and a chance to tie the basketball game. We'll have timeout on the floor. It is 40-39. The York Wildcats leading the Kennebunk Rams in just the type of game we thought it was going to be.
6:04 to go, and both these coaches are going with their guns. Liz Mikariz is in there, and Andrea Little stays on the floor. It looks like those two could run all night. And you were saying earlier that you can't go too deep in this tournament without a point guard. Karen Harvey, she had the 2 turnovers early in the game, the first half, where she overpassed the ball. She put too much velocity on the pass. She hasn't had a turnover in the second half that I can recall, and she's been able not only to penetrate, but she's been able to find the open people. She's distributed the ball well. So, you know, has she been effective? Yes, she's been very, very effective.
Here's Mikariz and
there's
McDonald.
The first block.
Yeah, and here she is putting up the rebound.
Got her with the body on the second. Because at that point she was committed. She was leading in too far, and she couldn't get out of Liz's way.
Joanna Brown will sit down. She does not come out after the break, and Kathleen Byrne goes in. Molly McDonald picked up the foul for the York Wildcats, only her second personal, but the 7th team foul, and now it's 1-and-1 the rest of the way for Kennebunk. Kennebunk has committed only 4 personal fouls in this half. Mikariz the first shot, and it's good. She connects on the three-point play, and once again we are tied at 40. Martell for York over the timeline, and to Jonna Weaver. Weaver to Little, back out on top to Martell. Here's Little with it again. Little, 15-foot push, does not draw iron. And the pickup by Allison Booth. Rams now would like to put some daylight between them. They are the #1 seed in the tournament. York #2. Mikariz, left side of the lane, lays it up, no good. Booth, the putback is good. Allison Booth makes it 42-40. Kennebunk.
Good weak side positioning for that rebound by Allison Booth. Easy layup.
Martell to Kathleen Byrne, right through her hands. It goes out of bounds, and the turnover there. As we wind the clock down to 5:19. Left to go regulation time of the basketball game. And the Kennebunk Lady Rams on top by 2. Harvey to put in play. Into Booth. Gets it right back. Will take it across the timeline herself. Looking for somebody, finds Mikariz, looped underneath for Booth, turnaround hook shot off the rim, no good. Rebound battle for Little, has it dropped out of bounds. Bounced off her knees and thighs, and that ball will belong to York.
Karen Harvey picked up her dribble.
Kennebunk, rather, I'm sorry.
Karen Harvey picked up her dribble because she didn't have anybody open underneath. But the thing is that they've been instructed. Harold Hansen says, look, Joanna Brown's not in the game. Get it inside.
Gets it into Mikariz. Her turnaround shot is no good, and Molly McDonald is fouled over the back.
Don Diffin, I believe.
It will be Diffin, called on the foul. And York will get the basketball back. That is the 5th team foul against the Kennebunk Rams here in this half. So they still have 1 to give.
These kids are playing excellent mental basketball.
Shauna Weaver on the left side working with Jessica Martell. Martell on the dribble to Molly McDonald. It comes to Kathleen Byrne. Now to Weaver. Cross-court pass. Back out on top to Martell. 4.5 minutes left to go in the basketball game.
Daring York to take the outside shot.
Here is, well, I guess you called it. They dared Little to take it, and she canned the 15-footer from the corner. 42-42, the tie score. York and Kennebunk really putting on a show. Now down quickly. Diffin will drive the lane. Off the rim, no good, but a whistle for a foul.
The York fans wanted Allison Booth on the push-off. She didn't get enough contact, really, and it was more a loss of balance than it was anything foul-worthy on the part of Allison Booth.
You saw Kathleen Byrne on that replay committing the foul on Dawn Diffin. And Dawn will go to the line to shoot the two-shot foul. All the foul shots now are going to be important for both clubs. Diffin off the front of the rim, no good. She'll get another one, fouled in the act of shooting by Kathleen Byrne.
Unofficially, I've got Andrea Little for 28 points.
She has been cooking. Diffin off the back of the rim, no good. Booth the rebound. Booth turnaround jump shot in the lane is good. 44-42. Kennebunk by 2 points. 4 minutes even left to go in the basketball game.
Does that kid have a future? Whoa.
Oh, she does. She's only a sophomore. Jonna Weaver is tied up by Dawn Diffin. Good defensive play. The possession arrow will belong to the York Wildcats. Two-point bulge. That's all. You can't even call that a bulge, can you? Inbounds pass works its way eventually to Jessica Martell at the top of the circle. Weaver. Little in the corner. Back out on top to Martell. To Little. Andrea gets it across court to Weaver. She's open for the 10-footer. No good. The battle for the rebound. Joanna Brown in the lane. Puts it up. It's no good. Puts it up again. Blocked by Allison Booth. And they're going to call her for the foul. Got a lot of ball on that one.
Yes, she did. She had good position, but I think she got Joanna Brown with a shoulder, Don.
Foul number 31, Allison Booth. For foul number 2.
But again, York putting it up, and here you go. Putting it up again and again.
See that shoulder go in?
There it is. And down to the deck. With the foul on Allison Booth.
Joanna Brown is some tough on the boards.
York's in the 1-and-1 next time. Next foul. Martell wants to take it top of the circle on the dribble. She does. Molly McDonald back in the basketball game for the Wildcats. It comes to Little in the corner. Stolen by Allison Booth. And the sophomore will bring it out. Ahead to Harvey. Karen wants to dribble the left side of the lane. I thought she was going to slow it down, but she gets fouled. And the foul against Jessica Martell. So she will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. At the line will be Karen Harvey, number 10. Here we go.
Harold Hansen wasn't being smug before the game, Don, but he was saying, you know, at one point in that semifinal against Greeley, he had 4 sophomores on the floor. They had to come back. They had 4 sophomores on the floor. One of those sophomores, Allison Booth, she got 2 more years. What a force she's going to be.
Harvey with nothing but net on the first end of the 1-and-1 situation. 45-42. Karen Harvey can give Kennebunk a lead of 4 points, and she does. So now the hill to climb belongs to York. They want timeout to talk it over. 3 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the basketball game. The score, the Kennebunk Lady Rams 46 and the York Wildcats 42.
Joanna Brown got a little bit surprised there. She came over half court. When the ball came over half court, she was looking for the official to make a timeout call. All of a sudden, the ball's flying at her. She goes, oh, wait a minute, catch the ball first, then call for the timeout.
You got to be careful. They've called traveling real close in this tournament. Sometimes you catch the ball, you take the step, and the official's right on you.
She knew what Rick Clark wanted. He was right there saying, oh, I need a timeout. We got 3:08 to go. We're down by 4. And I think on this last play, Rick is going to say to Andrea, you know, it's nice that you were trying to get the ball inside, but Allison Booth is 6'3". She's got nice long arms. You got to either put it up or put it down in a hurry. That bounce pass is better than that little lob pass because Booth has such range.
46-42, you just flashed the score on your screen, and you can see we're in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes and 8 seconds left to go. So now the York Wildcats, defending state champions, trying to repeat, but will have to beat Kennebunk here. Little has it, fronted by Booth to Joanna Brown in the paint, and she's going to be fouled from behind. And look for the foul maybe to be called on Liz Mikaris. Let's not anticipate it.
Nope. Luya.
Luya.
Wasn't much of a foul. They were both there.
They were both there, but right now they're in. Let's see, we can't pick it up. That's after the play.
That's after the play. Not that Joanna was bothered too much. She just kept the ball, kept going.
Without the ball. First shot is perfect. 46-44. 43. 46-43. And she can bring him within 2. She does. So here we go. Under 3 minutes left to go in the game. It's 46-44. Kennebunk on the lead. And from behind, Martell fouls Harvey. She'll get called on the reach-in.
Oh, you caught just a glimpse of it. The look on Jessica Martell's face.
If there was an award for expressions here in this tournament, Jessica Martell would get it. Here she is reaching in.
That little wry look. She didn't get much of Harvey.
She got up off the floor here one time and after falling down and went, ooh. Here's Karen Harvey at the line. Off the rim, no good. She will not get a chance at the second one as Little comes down with the rebound. Andrea gets it up to Jonna Weaver. And left for Martell, working on the right side. Weaver, Martell. Brings it on the dribble. Wants to go left. Does so now. Picks up Luya on the guard. Here's Little. Underneath. Drives. Lays it up. No good. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Joanna Brown. And that will belong to Kennebunk.
A little bit of a force on the play there by Andrea. Allison Booth had cut her off on the baseline. She could contort herself to get to the backboard, but she couldn't get much on the ball toward the basket. Big difference.
The basket.
The basket view.
2.5 to go. Into the lane it comes. Luya lays it up and in for Kennebunk. 48-44. Rams lead it by 4 points. 2:11 left to go. Martell. Top of the circle. McDonald. McDonald, left side of the lane, 10-footer off the rim, no good. Rebound, battle for it, taken away by Dawn Diffin, and she's going to be fouled from behind.
Jonna Weaver right there was looking to get the jump ball call, but I believe the possession error would have been in favor of Kennebunk.
You are right, sir.
So now she's got the ball there, and then get a little bit of motion. There's the elbow by Diffin. But they're saying the reach-in occurred first, so the elbow doesn't get called, the reach-in does.
Okay. Don Diffin at the line. Important foul shots now for Kennebunk. Got the first one.
Harold Hansen was saying before the game, he doesn't go out and say, okay, we got to through the 100 foul shots. But he will set up a drill where these kids have to make pressure foul shots, where they try to distract them, they try to yell at them, they try to do things that will disturb their concentration. This one is a good one.
Diffin got them both under pressure. 50-44. Kennebunk leads it by 6. 1:53 left to go. Now, underneath, Jonna Brown is walking with a basketball. It goes right back to the Kennebunk Rams.
She's frustrated, but that was a good call. She had to put the ball to the floor at least once on the way to the hoop.
Officials have been selected here on merit, as I understand, so they've done a good job during the season to get to this floor tonight. Inbounds pass to Harvey is knocked out of bounds, but that's going to belong to Kennebunk.
Well, the York fans disagree, but Karen Harvey did the right thing in not reaching for the ball. If she'd reached for it, I think they might have called it the other way.
Down court to Luya, cruises the lane, lays it up and in.
Joanna Brown had to lay off. She's got that 4th foul. She didn't want to foul out with 1.5 minutes to go, and she waves for the officials' attention to get the timeout. She had to lay off on that fast break basket.
90 seconds from the finish. It's Kennebunk 52 and York 44.
Luya's got double digits for Kennebunk. She stepped up in the second half.
Boy, oh boy, it's 1:29 actually till the finish right now. But as you can see, tough thing about television, you can't lie. You know?
We can try.
We can try. Don't forget our second game tonight, the Class B Western Boys Final. It's going to be York against Mountain Valley. In this one, if you're just joining us, not much time left, 1:29. And Kennebunk leading it by a margin of 52-44.
York has not had to rely this year on the three-point field goal. They don't have a lot of them. They don't take a lot of them. But it's coming down now where you might be looking. Andrea Little's got the range. She's got the quickness, but she also has Allison Booth in her face.
That's right. So it may be bomb time for the York Wildcats. They feed it into Brown. She's going to get tied up by Harvey rather, and they'll call Harvey for the foul.
There again, that was a little risky too. Joanna turned with the ball in her hands. Pretty close to getting another travel call.
Talk about expressions. Here we are on the replay. See, she got her hands in there. Digging and scratching. And she had an expression that equaled Jessica Martell's. It was me. Joanna Brown from the line. First one is good. Cuts the 8-point lead down to 7.
There's time. There's an eternity with 1:21.
A lot of things can happen, and we've seen it all week long in this tournament. Second one on the way. Off the front of the rim, no good, and Allison Booth the rebound. Big one for Allison. Karen Harvey, watched by Jessica Martell. That's been a great matchup all night. To Booth. Booth, top of the circle. Dawn Diffin drives the lane. Dishes to Booth. Turnaround shot is no good. Booth the rebound. Puts it up again and in. Oh, under a minute left to go.
Boy, is she impressive.
54-45. And the sophomore makes it happen for the Lady Rams. Down court, the ball stolen. Drifted ahead to Luya. Luya in the lane. Lays it up and in. That could be the final nail in the coffin. It's 56-45. 11-point lead now for Kennebunk. And at the other end, Joanna Brown tries to take it in, but she's walking.
Is it too early for the hallelujah?
I don't know. Kennebunk will take time out.
Big hoops in the fourth quarter for Luya.
One of the smallest players on the court. Comes up big.
Takes the basket, or takes the ball to the basket. And I think that fourth foul call on Joanna Brown did enough to inhibit her defensively that it just made it easier for Kennebunk to get to the basket. And Allison Booth, what a great play. Offensive rebound, nice spin move in the lane, second nice spin move in the lane. When she went up that second time, she was perfectly positioned. Just a little soft jump shot, one-handed, right in front of the hoop.
And as Kennebunk has opened it up here in the past minute, really, this has been a much closer game. It was seesaw all the way. For two teams who deserve to be here. They have had marvelous seasons. As we mentioned before the game, they have lost only once apiece, and they lost to each other. There's more irony to that, but I don't think we'll have time to get to it. Now, down court, stolen by Joanna Brown. Brown, the three-point play is off the rim, no good. Half a minute left to go. And walking with the basketball is Mikariz. There's another great expression. Not me. Wasn't me.
She said I didn't even have the ball. You could read her lips. I didn't even have the ball.
Little gets it in. To Weaver. Little now, the three-pointer.
Swish.
Swish. Woohoo. Andrea Little makes it 56-48. An 8-point lead. Little steals the inbounds pass and puts it in. And up off the bench looking for timeout are the York people. Down court it comes quickly to Liz Mikariz, and she puts it up and in. 10 seconds left to go, 58-50. Little with the basketball. Throws up a wild three-pointer, does not draw iron, out of bounds with 4.2 left to go.
The heel points hold up. The number one seed's going out of here as the Western Maine B champion, Dawn.
Inbounds pass from Booth. Luya will just hang on. Stolen by Little. It should end this way. With a second to go, Kennebunk is going to the state championship as the Rams win it, 58-50. That's how good it feels.
Look at Harold Hansen. Are they happy? He credited the kids early on. He said, look, I put the ball out there, they play. He wasn't nervous till he got out here. And then he gets out here and he sees this 58-50. They've dethroned the defending state champs.
Well, we'll take a few seconds here, and then we'll have the award ceremony, which we will carry uninterrupted here on the stations of Maine Public Television. But there's your final score in the girls' Western B final game. Kennebunk 58 and York 50. And so now Kennebunk takes the next step, and they go to the state championship.
The toughest handshake in all season. Joanna Brown distraught over there.
And Joanna Brown.
She gets a big hug from Allison Booth.
Isn't that great? Right there on your screen.
You know, next season they'll get out here. Joanna's going to come back. Allison's going to come back. And they are going to take their respective teams, or try to anyway, right back here. And I'd expect it. As the kids in blue, the powder blue over there, the York Wildcats.
They are looking at the Kennebunk bench. We have the EMT out underneath the basket down there, if we ever get a shot of that. He's the guy with the scissors. Here we go. That's the emergency medical technician here. And he's the guy who's got the scissors. And now going up is Karen Harvey, and does she deserve that? She's going to take a string.
She gives the index finger to her, not only her team, but the whole bench over there.
Let's see, I think Karen's going to take the whole thing. She's going to take the whole thing down.
And the EMT wants some scissors? No, he's trying to give them back to Karen. Yeah, there you go. She knows how to do this. Wonder if they practice this.
I don't know. Do you practice that? Glad I never did. I never had a chance to do
probably in the comfort of your own bedroom, maybe. And everybody's got a basket.
There it is.
We go.
York Wildcats will finish a wonderful season, but number one belongs to Kennebunk. Winning it here by a score of, and now Bruce Cooper has to go back and put that back together here at the end of the game. Well, that's how bad it feels, ladies and gentlemen, but believe me, York has nothing to be ashamed of.
Bruce Cooper, whose girls are going into the Eastern Maine Class A tournament, seeded number one. He's got a pretty good player of his own in Cindy Blodgett.
Known across the state.
There's Liz Mikaris. What a game.
She did a little bit better with it. She's the senior.
And I think you can give a piece to everybody on the squad, because there's not much you can do with one of those cut baskets, you know.
That's right.
They're no good for shoestrings. Look at Karen Harvey. Whip that thing around.
She's one happy lady, I'll tell you. But Kennebunk came in here. They fell behind early, but came right back and held the lead most of the game. But York managed to come back, and we were seesaw for most of the third quarter, and they just pulled away, actually, in the last 90 seconds.
York was up 11-10 at the end of one. A surge by Kennebunk to start the second quarter. And even though York came back to outscore Kennebunk in the third quarter by only 1 point.
Now the award ceremony. Let's go live to the PA announcers.
Maine tournament are one of the 4 best teams in the whole state, and each school is very proud of their teams. At this time, the runner-up, New York High School, Coach Rick Platt and Assistant John Carmichael, please come up for the awards. First of all, managers, Kate Shady. Mandy Palace. Kara Ross. Team personnel, Katie Dotremont. Tiffany Chapman. Sharon Orchard. Liza Brown. Lindsay Plaisted. Molly McDonald. Jessica Martell. Joanna Brown. Tracy Youngst. Nicole Ford. Andrea Johansson. Samantha Demaray. Captains, Andrea Little. Kathleen Byrne. Donna Weaver. With the captains and the coach, please come forward. I'd like to present this plaque to York High School, representing the girls basketball Western Regional Class B runners-up for 1993. Thank you. And 1993 Western Maine Girls Class B champions, Kennebunk High School. The coach, Harold Hansen, and assistant Steve Noble, please come help me present the award. Managers, June Specky. Jennifer Smith. Team personnel, Kristen Barry. Allison Boo. Kristen Burnham. Dawn Diffin. Danielle Luya. Liam Mai. Shannon Menken. Twee Nguyen. Nora Smith. Molly Spalding. Aaron Walker. Allison West. Team captains, Karen Harvey. Liz Vickers. Would the captains and coaches please come forward? On behalf of the Maine Principals Association, to Kennebunk High School, the girls basketball Western Regional Class B champions, 1993. Grab attention, please. And one more award. Each year, the Western Maine Board of Approved Basketball Officials selects a boy and a girl in each of the Western Maine tournament classifications to receive an award. The award is based on both individual and team-oriented skills throughout the 3 rounds of play, but also, more importantly, it recognizes character and sportsmanship displayed by the recipient. In girls Class B, the award is named for Mike Lorenzo, one of the most respected officials in Western Maine basketball history. For many years, Mike Lorenzo was a highly successful basketball coach at Rockland High School, guiding many teams in the Eastern Class A tournament. After moving to Auburn, Mr. Lorenzo became a guidance counselor at Little High School, as well as a basketball official. Upon retirement from education, he became commissioner of basketball for the state of Maine from 1979 until 1990. The Western Maine Board of Officials and Representative Jim Crocker are proud to present the 1993 Mike Lorenzo Award to Andrea Little of York High School. Thank you very much.
That concludes the award ceremony, and you saw that the Sportsmanship Award presented to the captain of the York Wildcats, Andrea Little.
Well deserved, too, Don. You know, it's a shame that one of these clubs has to go home, but you look at that, you've got to have a team picture of that. You've got to be able to feel for those kids. They have really focused themselves to the task at hand. And as we were saying earlier, Harold Hansen didn't call the team meeting. The kids called the team meeting. They're the ones who said, what do we have to do to finish number 1? When we finished number 1, he said, you got to beat York. How prophetic that was. They beat York on the second go-around in the regular season. They've lost 1 game all year. That was to York in the early part of the season. They came back. They beat them in the second game of the regular season. Now, they've beaten them in the playoffs. What does it take to be number 1? Hey, you got to beat York. And that's what they did here tonight, 58-50. Tremendous ball game.
It was a fantastic ball game. You know, you talk about the 8-point margin, but it was really a lot less than 8 points. It seesawed there, and there's Karen Harvey talking right to us. She said, okay.
Look at Allison Booth.
She says, okay, folks, we brought it home. We brought it home.
This is fun.
That's a great shot, and it gives you the feel and the emotion that's involved here.
How many 6'3" girls who are sophomores, all right, so we're getting into a smaller universe here. How many 6'3" sophomore girls do you know who take the ball inbounds, dribble it up the court, find the open player, run the court well, pass the ball off in traffic, put the ball up on the rebounds? This kid has a tremendous future.
Does it all, and we were just talking about the winning coach, Coach Hansen. He's with Bob Gardner right now. Let's go to Bob.
Okay, thanks very much. I am here with Harold Hansen. Harold, just this feels really good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How good does it feel?
Well, I think it's going to hit me later this evening, but it really feels good because it's our first time ever. Right.
It was just a terrific game. I mean, everything that anybody could have expected. Well, of two teams that were 17-1 came out and did it. Was there any particular time that you thought made a big difference?
Well, the big difference, believe it or not, is when we finally got Allie Booth underneath, and she made a couple of key rebounds and hoops and put in, and then we got our fast break going finally. Yeah. We were just missing right along, but we finally got it going with Lulia.
And you had some real good balance. Your people bringing the ball down. They kept their heads. They kept it cool.
Right, right. We worked on that. We knew York was going to put pressure on us. And we set up Allie and Karen and the others, you know. Yeah.
How many players do you lose off this spot, Hal?
Actually, one starter. One starter. Tonight you saw 4 sophomores at times on the floor together.
That's got to feel pretty good.
It feels good, right, right.
I'm just looking here at up the other end. I don't know the results. Holton or Ellsworth, who you'll be meeting up with for the big one, right here a week from tomorrow night.
We haven't even thought that far ahead, believe it or not. We know that was Holton and Ellsworth, so now I guess I'm going to have to put in another week of work.
So you'll be practicing pretty regularly?
We'll be practicing starting Monday. Yeah, we'll give the girls the weekend off, and then we'll be doing like every other coach that's in the finals, trying to find out something about our opponent.
I just have to say, from I think a human point of view, Hal, that the girls' games are just really exciting, and I think at the end of the game, it's tough. You really know who won and who lost. It's great to see the happiness with the girls, and it's tough on the other side. You've been in both places.
We've been in both places. A lot of emotion. The girls' hearts are really into it on both sides, and they both know each other on these teams, and they have friends, so there's feeling both ways. Yeah.
And you played a great team tonight. It's a good win when you
York,
beat somebody
when
like
we
York.
beat York, we've been in a good game.
Well, again, congratulations and best of luck a week from tomorrow night, Howard.
Thank you very much.
Right. Let's get back to Don and Dave now.
Thank you very much, Bob. And we've got a couple of special features that we want to present to you. You know, one of the things is a lot of people come and watch basketball games. Some of you watch it on television, and there is always